Ladies and gentlemen, the conversation that I'll be going into is the conversation between Edmundo and a member of Congress of the alleged event several hours before the 1998 World Cup final. The Congressman asked, was Ronaldo hitting out or shaking? Edmundo responded, hitting out a lot. He replied, lying down. Edmundo said, lying down and hitting himself with his hands like this, as he demonstrates with his teeth locked together and with his mouth forming. His whole body hitting itself. The whole body, yes. Brazil's capitulation at the 1998 World Cup final was so shocking that the country's own government opened an official investigation, in which you'll find that down below in the description. In this video, I'll be going into one of the most popular and the most talked about conspiracy theories when we go into about the 1998 World Cup, and more specifically, what happened to Ronaldo of the fateful day of the 1998 World Cup final and what really happened. There's several conspiracy theories, and I think this would be a fantastic video to go into, but I realize I'm wearing an AC Milan shirt, so I must wear something a bit more suited. Boom, there you go, much better. If you guys do enjoy, let's hit 1,500 likes, and also if you are new here, feel free to also subscribe. It is free. Let's get into the conspiracy theory of what happened in the 1998 World Cup final. Just 5 days before that fateful night in the Saint-Denis, the reigning World Cup champions had eliminated the Netherlands on penalties in what was, to that point, their most difficult encounter of an otherwise irresistible tournament. Ronaldo, already a two-time FIFA World Player of the Year at just 21 years of age, had opened the scoring just after the restart and also converted Brazil's first penalty. And despite progressing into the final against host nation France, it seemed there would be no stopping the South American juggernaut lifting the trophy a record-extending 5th time. But then, it all fell to pieces, the narrative blown to bits just hours before what should have been one of the most compelling matches in football history. This is what we think we know. The date, July 12th, on the day of the 1998 World Cup final. The Brazilian squad had lunch in Vizeh, just outside Paris. Shortly after arriving back at the team hotel, Ronaldo, who was sharing a room with Roberto Carlos, broke down and cried. Quoted from Roberto Carlos, Ronaldo was scared about what lay ahead. The pressure had got to him and he couldn't stop crying. Then at around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Ronaldo began to convulse uncontrollably, eventually foaming at the mouth. As journalist Alex Bellos described the incident in The Guardian, Roberto Carlos shouted for help, with teammates Cesar, Sampaio and Edmundo arriving quickly at the scene, the latter preventing Ronaldo from swallowing his own tongue. Then Ronaldo went to sleep, and the team doctors agreed to avoid telling him what had happened. One of the doctors, Jalcria da Mata, later admitted that he has never seen a player experiencing convulsions. He also revealed that Ronaldo had been taking the painkiller called Valorin since re-aggravating a knee injury against Morocco on June the 16th. When Ronaldo woke up, he had a cup of tea, and thanks to the intervention of teammate Leonardo, he was told of his fate by Brazil's medical staff. It was while he was at the clinic that his name was omitted from the team sheet, expectedly by the manager Mario Zagallo. Edmundo, the Fiorentina marksman, expected to be in a starting 11 instead. Then things got complicated. According to The Independent, Brazil Football Confederation (CBF) President Ricardo Teixeira, he of the 80 million sponsorship negotiation with Nike, walked into the team's dressing room about an hour before kickoff. 20 minutes later, Ronaldo arrived, and Zagallo stroked Edmundo's name from the lineup. Former manager said, if you invert the situation and I didn't put Ronaldo on and then Brazil lost 3-0, people would say Zagallo is stubborn. So looking back, I think I would do the same again. The official line from the Brazilian Federation and a few players that have spoken about this event said, leading up until kickoff, that Ronaldo, feeling considerable pressure, got sick and just 40 minutes prior to kickoff pronounced himself fit to play. But there has been many unanswered questions, difficult explanations, and a public that, for perfectly good reasons, simply can't digest how to take in this information. They've only gone and formed their own conspiracy theories. So Let's get into conspiracy number 1. Theory number 1. Ronaldo was hiding a secret medical condition. This is less a conspiracy theory than an attempt to pin the blame for Brazil's failure against France on a single individual and the doctors that treated him. As far as we know, the July 12th seizure was the only one ever suffered by Ronaldo, and given a grooming process that took him to the 1994 World Cup as a 17-year-old, the idea that he suddenly broke down under pressure is curious to say the least. Various reports have hotel director Paul Chevalier hearing shouts of "he's dead, he's dead," so it's verifiable that a medical emergency did in fact transpire that afternoon. But what if Ronaldo had covered up a pre-existing condition, and what if the team doctors, unaware of the situation, only made things worse by prescribing painkillers? That's theory number 1, which seems relatively harmless and would probably make some sense. However, the fact that a footballer who's gone through many medicals would be hiding a condition which can affect something as serious as this is seen as unlikely, but this is one of the theories. Theory number 2. Brazil's players accepted bribes to throw the match. According to The Guardian, the theory is that Brazil's squad being offered £15 million as well as a right to host a future World Cup in exchange for throwing the match against France. Part of the agreement is also said to have included the guarantee of a favourable draw in the 2002 FIFA World Cup. Ronaldo, uncomfortable with the arrangement, pulled out of the squad but changed his mind after Nike told him he was risking his sponsorship money. 4 years later, Brazil eased through a group that included China, Costa Rica and Turkey, and 5 years after that were awarded the 2014 World Cup. This for me seems really unlikely. I can't really imagine that the players there would be giving away their, for some players there, their one big chance to win a World Cup. People could be of age that they probably won't be next World Cup. I just highly doubt this is possibly the situation here, just because they will have an easy group next time when they're in the final already. For me, this just feels like it's very, very unlikely. Conspiracy theory number 3, and one of the most popular ones, which is Nike forced Ronaldo to play. On July 13th, the day after the World Cup final, Nike released the following statement. With regard to rumours circulating about presumed pressures Nike put on the Brazilian national team so that Ronaldo would play, Nike wants to emphasise that the report of such involvement is absolutely false. It continued, Ronaldo and Zagallo decided together to crown his dream, which the Brazilian player probably deserved to live. In all of this, Nike did not interfere in any way, and besides, why should it have? Nike has invested significant resources in its agreement with Teixeira and the Brazilian Federation, and as per the Independent, it was already common practice for them to request the full turnout of Brazil's best squad at international friendlies. Financially, Nike had a lot riding on the 1998 World Cup, and a majority of their pre-tournament marketing was based around Brazil and on Ronaldo in particular. What if Nike, via Teixeira, had demanded Ronaldo's name on the team sheet? The 1970 World Cup winner Tostario said, "In my time, it was the army generals running Brazil who tried to pick the team," saying today, it's the sponsors, the businessmen, the media moguls. The World Cup final is the world's biggest TV show. From the information that we know from the Brazilian investigation, what it could be seen as in some people's eyes, that this was an interception of the safety of a human being being used for the benefit of money and power. To some people, this was a night that football has lost its innocence. So, was it Nike? Was it just a simple medical condition that he hid the entire time? Was it bribes? Was it drugs? Was it doctors? Why was Ronaldo able to play in a World Cup final on the same day that before he had a literal seizure, which was confirmed by people within the hotel and by the squad itself? Tell me your thoughts down below in comments, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys write down there. If you guys do want more videos like this, then tell me down below what more things can we go into next, and I will see you guys next time. Stay safe.